welcome back to my channel. Good morning, vlogsters. I know. I'm still working on this video. I can't believe I shot like 2 hours worth of footage. I said it was an hour, but here's the thing. One of them I shot on time lapse, which means I can't even tell you how much work we did. And the second one, I talked over it. So it's like, even though it's I can't really make it shorter than at the time it is, because I didn't want a voiceover because the voiceovers are hard and I can't see as well and and all the things that I don't share with you people. I should share everything, but I get a lot of criticism for sharing things that are wrong in my life. But anyhow, grab your coffee. Just grab your coffee, tea, hot cocoa, water, juice, whatever you're drinking this morning. Please just grab it and join me, because we're going to chit chat today, because that's how I'm feeling. I actually got up and put on my brace because I wanted to work. You sure you're okay to go? Sorry about that. Jim is headed to Hobby Lobby and hopefully the Dollar Tree for me, so we can do a project and organizing boxes. So let's see. Cross your fingers. They have them. Cross your fingers. Cross your fingers. But I said, he's like, are you just gonna wait till I come back before you get in your brace? And I was like, no, because I have energy right now. And no, I can't do the things that I want to do without his help, so I have to wait for him to come back. But if I lay back in bed, it might just drain right out. But also if I sit up, it might just drain right out. I don't know. There's no answers. There's no right answer. But I just figured I would talk to you guys instead, because I didn't really have a good coffee chat in a while. Yesterday was funny. I forgot to tell you guys. So the other thing I forgot to tell you in the video was we did put up the table. And you'll see when you get the video, you're like, what? But that was like, so anyway, we were working. It was sweaty. It was hot. We were talking about how hot it was. And it was starting to get really warm in this room, and 2 people. And he's like, we have to start thinking about dinner. And I was like, oh, okay. So he's like, oh, I didn't take out any buns. And I was like, oh, we'll go take out buns. He goes, are you kidding? It's 12:30. It was 12:30. But we had gotten, started almost right away. He did a really quick vlog in the morning, he said. And then we got started pretty much right away, which was pretty cool. And we got a lot of work done. And it only took 14 months, but that's just negative. It's just, I still feel like there's things that I want to do to it, like a feature wall. I want to do a little bit more featuring, but I don't want to make it congested. He doesn't like it congested. So there's that fine balance between it doesn't look finished to me and congested to him. So anyway, so happy with the way it's turning out. So, there is that. I have these storage things and display, collectible display situations that I want to duplicate that I found online. One of them was from Pinterest, but the one from Pinterest has inspired me to do something different, but similar, if that makes sense. And then the one was, I was actually looking for wooden trays with compartments. And I was all on Amazon trying to find them, and they're just expensive as heck. So I'm trying to come up with some ways to mimic them, duplicate them, or replicate them with Dollar Tree items, because some of these people want $17 for a wooden tray, unfinished, with dividers. No, thank you. For what, $3 worth of Dollar Tree products, you want to charge me $18? No, thank you. So hopefully, yeah. Hopefully that, is my watch really down to 19%? What is happening with my watch these days? I don't know why it's happening. so weird. It's really draining the battery quickly. I'm going to put it on the charger while I sit here. And I know I need a new cord for my charger because it's not charging quickly. It's not a rapid charge cord like it should be. But meantime, this is what's happening. It's not in my personal budget until payday. Anyhow, sorry guys. I ate this morning. Jimmy made a really good omelet, and he's like, I'm really sorry I overcooked it. And honestly, the eggs were like a little charred, like a little, like had a little char in them. But they were so flavorful. Like it wasn't that the eggs were charred. It almost like the butter was charred. And it kind of had a brown buttery type of taste to it. But it went so well with the peppers and ham. So I asked him to make me sort of like a Western omelet. Usually he makes an omelet. The Nordic omelet he makes is an omelet with ham and cheese in it. And what we have was bought a bag of frozen peppers. I think I talked about it the night I made the Philly cheesesteaks. So I said, if you could just throw a little like peppers and onions in the pan before you make the eggs and just pull them out and you can put them in the omelet. I was like, that'd be so good. So that's what he did. And by the time he went to go make the omelet, the pan was already like too hot and he didn't really lower it, knowing that he would have had to lower it at that point. Because when he makes his omelets, it's not something you have to do. So the outside was just charred, but it really went with like, it added to that smoky, like almost like Mexican sort of peppers and onions sort of situation. It was really good. And I told him, he's like, I'm really sorry about your omelet. I was like, don't worry about it, sweetie. You guys said it looks beautiful. Other than it was darker, it looked beautiful. He folded it great. It didn't crack. Got the cheese and the ham just in the perfect proportions. And then when I went to go eat it, I was like, oh, my Lanta. You're going to have to burn an omelet every once in a while for me when you make it with peppers. Because it was good. Now, just because I don't have much of an appetite and I am satiated does not mean that I don't enjoy the food. I still enjoy flavors, and I still have, like my taste buds are still okay for now, knock wood. So I still enjoy the food, even though I'm not hungry at all. But that being said, it is something I just make myself do. And while I have to make myself do it, it's better to make myself do it when it tastes better, if that makes any sense. Then sort of my fat girl vibe kicks in, and I eat even though I'm not hungry, because I have to eat. Oncologist said I have to eat. Food, good food, real food, is what helps you battle this nasty condition. It's been a real long time since we talked about like full-on cancer. I know we talked about like when I came back from the doctor last week about upping medication and my little pity party meltdown that I had. And it wasn't a pity party. That's just how it felt afterwards when I was editing it, or after I actually had the meltdown. Because I don't like to feel woe is me. I just don't. There's other people that have way more issues, I don't feel sick. And there are people who have this condition who feel sick, who are nauseated, who have painful urinations, and who are bleeding internally, and who have problems breathing because it's attacked their lungs, and so on and so forth. I don't feel that way, which I'm very grateful for. So it's hard to have a bit of the way Mom raised me was, you might have nothing, but people always have less, and it's that same sort of mentality when it comes to your health. You might be sick, but there's people who are way sicker out there. And if you can focus on them, and that's really what my whole career was about. Besides wanting to be a teacher, and not actually teaching, what gave me the compassion for the individuals with developmental disabilities was no matter what I was going through, my arthritis, my surgery, my according to my according to my infectious disease doctor, my brush with death was always like, I have to get back and take care of the individuals because they are really truly sick and they don't have anybody who is there. I mean, they have people, but I'm not there to take care of them. So it's sort of like that whole different perspective, just a very different perspective. Anyhow, I wanted to do a voiceover today. I was actually going to sit in this chair and voice over because it's much clearer when I'm sitting up than when I'm laying down and doing a voiceover. By sitting in this chair, it's extremely warm in this corner. And it's actually out of the southeast facing side of the house. It is the southeast facing corner in the southeast room. So this is like the bake corner. This is the baking corner. But anyway, and the Dyson can't really hear, like, and the fan's there, but that's probably the best. I was like, turn the fan up. Jimmy was going to plug in the little fan for me, but I realized that's just going to make a ton of noise for you guys, and it's just going to be annoying. So I'm just going to be here and sweat, and then when I'm done, I'll go sit maybe in the living room and do my voiceover. I'm trying to determine how to do this video. Like, I want to do it in parts, but I don't know that I have the strength to voice over all the parts. And then I don't really have... This is going to sound crazy, and I'm not using it as an excuse. I have the video. It's just a matter of editing the video and putting it up. But I also don't always have the brain capacity to figure out how I want to do it and to put it together. And not a complaint or a criticism, but if you've ever watched any of Jim's vlogs, he just doesn't edit his videos at all. So it's not like I can ask him to do it for me when he doesn't even know how to do it for himself. And I've tried to teach him several times. I don't think he's really interested in learning that aspect of editing. I think I taught him how to insert pictures. He does that every once in a while. He adds pictures to the end of something. But he doesn't want to, like, do voiceovers. He doesn't want to, like, edit clips. He just wants it to be, like, just run the camera. And if he makes a mistake or if he starts to get off in a tangent, he starts all over. I don't know if he's ever shared that with you, but sometimes he'll be in there for 3 hours because he just can't not ramble. And I can't do that. See, that's the thing I was telling you guys the other day. I can't decide, like, did I tell you that last week or just an hour ago? Like, when I first started to shoot this video. I can't separate that in my head. So I don't. That's pretty much how that works. I don't. Yeah, so I starting to get really tired. I know I get tired sitting in the brace. I know I get tired sitting in the chair, and I know I get tired when I'm hot. But I was getting tired before that, and that's why I wanted to sit up. And I was hoping that the vim and vigor of sitting up would actually enhance my... Come on, people, let's go. I've been having some really weird dreams lately. I don't want to get into details, but I've kind of been having, like, my worlds, like my modern day world and my post world. My Missouri world and my New York world. They're all melding and combining. And then my real life and my fantasy life, all combining. And it's very odd. It's just, I don't know if there's a message to be put in there. Is it just medications? Is it just like chemotherapy dreams? I have no idea. So if you're watching this because Cabomedics and you are with me on that and you have like weird Cabo dreams, please tell me. I should go put it on the Cabo group site. Be like, anybody else have like really weird dreams? Because it could be from the gabapentin or the Cymbalta. It could be other medications that's causing weird dreams. But it really, all of those medications started just around the same time, with the exception of the Cymbalta I was on for like 8 months before. But not quite as a high of a dose. So I don't know. Could be any of the things. Could have all the above. Could have been none of the above. I have no idea. No idea, peoples. It's no idea. I have no idea. Anyway, that being said, I think it's time to switch out the cards. I've got a whole bag full of cards that have to go on here. And in our processes for talking about rearranging and setting up the wall, we realized that I really don't have a place to put another string of lights. Where we originally wanted to put 2 strings of lights with extra cards on them. So we bought extra card clips and everything. But I don't have a place to really string them. That's the hard part. So I might just swap the cards out. I will never get rid of them. I mean, you can bury me with my cards if you guys want to bury me. But it's just something that I'm very sentimental that way, and I keep cards. I do. I don't care. I like to look back on them. When I'm dead, you can throw them out. That's not, people are like, oh, you deal with that when you're dead and you leave that for your family. Yeah, I get that too. But what I like to do when I was always going through my parents' stuff was, what made them choose to save these things? What is it about this particular card that my father gave my mother on Valentine's Day, which made her keep that particular card? Was it because it was the first large card she ever got? Was it because that was the Valentine's Day where she was pregnant with my brother? Or the year before that where she decided she could get pregnant with my brother? I don't know. I really don't know what. But I like that. I like to be able to tell the story. My father always had his dad's, old glasses in there. And he just kept them in his little jewelry box. And we would use them because they were antique glasses. We would use them for when we wanted to dress up to be an old lady or an old man. And he would say, you have to be careful. They're Pop's glasses, and they come home, and they always come back and go back in the jewelry box or whatever. But out of all the things of my grandfather's, why did he keep the glasses? Was it because they were just small enough to fit in his jewelry box? Were they, I don't know, the last thing he got before he left? Was that something that, the story, what's the story? And you don't know until the person's passed, unless you ask ahead of time. Hey, you have any, I'd love to see some of your old memories and sit down and go through old memories. That'd be great. But otherwise, it's I wonder why this shirt was special. And I wonder why this thing was special. And I wonder why they kept this, or they selected to save this, and what does this mean to them, And as far as the cards are concerned, I do like to pull out all the old cards. Before the flood, I had a card from Lisa. When I first met Lisa, she used to send me cards. The one particular one with Garfield on it that I had until the flood. Ma, if you're watching this, don't cry, because it was really a lot for me. But I kept this card forever. She just had said that she really felt a connection to me, and she never felt or had a friend. She never felt a connection or had a friend like me, someone who she felt so close to. And it was just a very special, a very touching card. It really was. I had letters that my friends had sent me. Back in the 80s, we used to write each other letters. My friends weren't in college. I pretty much saved every letter that I got from my friends in college. And I tried to be a writer back. I think I wrote each one of them back once. And that's it, if that. I mean, it just wasn't in my... It's funny that it wasn't in my nature, but I always thought I was a really good letter writer. But my mind works faster than my hand, so sometimes words would be jumbled. And the same works for text messages now. I have to constantly reread. Did I forget words? Did I skip half the sentence? I'll be like, I'm thinking I want to write, just for an example. Today, Jim went to the Dollar Tree and Hobby Lobby to buy me crates and boxes. And I'll start writing, today, Jim went to buy me boxes, Hobby Lobby, crates. I will just mess it all up because my brain actually I wouldn't say Hobby Lobby. It would be in order that I remember it, but there'd be key parts of the sentence. Like today, gym, Hobby Lobby, crates, and boxes. Like, it doesn't make sense when I write it. So I have to go back and realize, oh, I skipped half of those. Especially when there was two like words. So if the word the repeated a couple of times, then I would just skip a whole sentence. When I do song lyrics, when I write the song lyrics, like sometimes I just really like to write song lyrics down. When I do that, then the same thing kind of happens. I'll skip whole lines of the song if there was the word cowboy. If the word cowboy came up a few times, should have been a cowboy, should have learned to rope and ride, should have been a cowboy, or could have been a cowboy. It could have been a cow. It should have been a cowboy. You used to learn to rope and ride. And then I might skip like two whole lines and then finish like whatever cowboy is in the third verse. And just like that type of thing, I would just do that. Forget my place. And my brain just doesn't go at the same speed as my hand. So I was a very infrequent letter writer. Just like I'm an infrequent card giver. If I'm going to a shower or to a graduation, I will put a card in there. Most likely, it's a handmade card because I forgot to get you one. And that's just not that you're not a priority. I will concentrate and focus on the gift. I will make sure that the gift and the wrapping is on point. It's just something about cards, which is really ironic and sad because my best friend Sharon is the card writer. Aunt Sue is the card writer, the card giver. And they're super organized with it. And it's just something that, it's just, when it comes to cards and writing and stuff, like I said, I will spend 6 months working on a present. I will spend 6 months. I will spend 2 weeks looking for the perfect wrapping of the perfect gift bag. I just forgot to pick you up a card. Oh, gosh. So that's why I'm really so grateful about the cards. Because it does also remind me of where my failures are in life. That you guys love me anyway, even though I don't send cards. But anyhow, yeah, I really want to get in there and do my magic and make some DIYs today. I felt very crafty this morning. I have a friend who's got a pretty new apartment that they got, and I wanted to make them a welcome sign for their door. I have a cousin who got married almost 2 years ago. No, it was 2 years. No, last year. Yeah, she got married last year. And I've been promising her forever wreath for her door, but I have been incapacitated. I know I don't need to make excuses, and I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm just telling you the way it is. So I was looking in some supplies the other day when I was organizing, and I said, I think I have everything I need to make her craft. I think I have everything I need to make her gift, and I'm looking forward to it. My tongue feels better. It's not. When it grows. So look away, tongue shut. It still has that thing in the middle, but it feels like it's much better. I know it looks just the same. And it's funny because the things around the edges are like perfectly in line with my teeth. But you could just tell because my tongue got swollen. Because of the mucositis, my tongue got swollen and constantly rubs in the inside of my teeth. And the roof of my mouth comes and goes. If I eat something that's particularly rough, it may swell up a little bit and then go back down. The medication's really helping. I was telling Lisa yesterday that I think I have to start using the oral hygiene rinse that she gave me, because no matter how my mouth feels, the bleeding is exacerbated every time I brush. Now, it's not regular gum bleeding like gingivitis, which I am very familiar with. If you look, I don't look like I have teeth that have been taken care of plenty of times in my life. This is actually coming from like my cheeks up here, and up here there's like sores between the cheek and the gum right there. So I said I might have to go switch to that other oral cleaning rinse, the swish and spit one. But for right now, I'm just doing what I can. When I go to brush my teeth, I make sure when I go there, I just do like really soft. Then I started taking the Q-tip and cleaning that area. You know, put a little of the toothpaste on there and you clean that area. And last night, Jim and I got Taco Bell because they came back out with the grilled cheese burrito. And I've been wanting to have it with Emily, but she lives in Texas, so I had to wait and have it with Jim. Well, we got the grilled cheese burrito, but I ordered mine with no chips and no spicy chipotle sauce. Guess what they forgot? To read the instructions. But of course, you don't know this until you start chewing it. I mean, I can't tell. If you ever opened a burrito, you can't tell what's the sauce and what's the cheese. And they're so similar in color. And the crunchy chips actually goes through 2 layers of the burrito. Like they make the burrito, then they put down the crunchy chips, and then you roll it. So it's like weird. I don't know. Anywho, with the grilled cheese burrito, you really can't take it apart because then they cover it in cheese and grill it. So I started to eat it, and I cut it in half to look inside, and I must have eaten the one side that didn't have really a lot of the chipotle sauce on it. Because when they make it, sometimes everything falls to the bottom. Or they make it uneven. So the first half was like perfect. As I started to eat the second half, I started to sweat. My mouth got so irritated. Which normally, it can handle a certain amount of spice. It can handle regular taco meat. It can handle regular salsa. You know, the tomato acid sometimes. Some salsas are sweeter, some are acidier. But, like, it can handle, like, certain acids. Not quite lemon yet. Not quite vinegar yet. But it can do, like, some tomato products. If that makes any sense. Hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about. If you have GERD, you know the different levels of acid in foods. So, the regular taco part, the nacho cheese was fine. It was just when I hit the hot thing and I couldn't, I had to stop and I gave the rest to Jim, and even he said it was too hot, like too much chipotle sauce concentrated in that one area. So, I was kind of disappointed and happy at the same time because it was a big burrito, I'm not going to lie. It was a very expensively big burrito, and he's like, that was filling. I said, for the price it was, it better be. It was like restaurant-sized burrito, let's just put it that way. But when I went to go do my mouth rinse, wowzers. You would have thought I swallowed a can. I was a flame swallower. I don't know if people do that, but that's what it felt like. I was like, whoa. And I just had to stop moving it and let it sit and just make the area numb. This video is also going to be grossly about back updates. This is about my insert back video here. Woo, 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 woo. Warning, warning. We had tongue, and now we're going to show the back rash. Now, this side is almost completely gone. It has a tiny bit of that rectangle left, and that's all. Which is kind of ironic because it was the biggest surface area. But it was also the first surface area to start healing. This one is starting to get like the rectangle did. Do you guys remember when the skin started to grow out, so it looked like the rectangle was deep? Do you remember that? And okay, it was just a message that I have to go now. Sorry. And then it became like super, super irritated and hurt. That's what's happening here. The thing is this long, and it's actually shrinking this way. So we are keeping measurements. It is continuing to heal, but as it looks like it's getting deeper, it's getting more intense in pain. Yes, pain. But anyway, we'll insert video pictures at the end. I'll give you new tongue updates as well. Even though I showed you already, I'll get an up-close picture of the tongue and the backs, and I will share with you how everything's doing. I might even ask Jimmy to take the leg scarring so you guys can see how that's going, because you haven't really seen that in a while, and it doesn't look terrible, but it doesn't look brand new better all the way either. So I'll try to remember to do that, and if I don't, I apologize. Okay, listen, I love you. I do. If nobody's told you today you're loved, you can always come by and hear how much I love you. Okay, all right, good. And as always, you take care. God bless, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Bye, Vlogster.